The United States maintains some permanent military facilities in the Caribbean and Central America. And with the possible invasion of Venezuela by the United States, the question arises, how could the United States invade Venezuela? Under direct orders from Vladimir Putin, the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs began the withdrawal of the families of Russian diplomats living in Venezuela. The Associated Press revealed that the operation has focused on evacuating Russian women and children, making it clear that Moscow no longer trusts the stability of Nicolas Maduro's regime amid the imminent United States offensive. The Russian decision reveals the Chavista government's troubling situation and shows the Kremlin won't risk its citizens' lives in Venezuela. Russian intelligence, which is one of the most efficient in the world, has identified clear signs that a United States military action could occur at any moment. Welcome to Life in the Barracks. The Venezuelan Chancellor, Ivan Gil, tried to downplay the situation, stating that Moscow offered all its cooperation against the blockade of oil tankers imposed by the United States. But the withdrawal of Russian diplomats from the country reveals that Putin no longer believes in Maduro's ability to withstand a direct offensive. The United States Southern Command has been conducting operations around Venezuela for months. In recent operations, vessels linked to drug trafficking were destroyed and oil tankers were seized. Venezuelan airspace was closed and even the bunker used by Maduro and the top Chavista leadership was identified. A military belt was created around Venezuela, monitoring maritime and air routes 24 hours a day. Donald Trump has already been categorical in stating that a ground incursion could happen at any moment. Anticipating this scenario of open confrontation, Putin ordered the withdrawal of Russian citizens in a move that further weakens Nicolas Maduro and Chavismo. Russia and Venezuela have been allied for over 80 years, but the partnership grew stronger in the 2000s under Hugo Chavez. In 2025, new cooperation treaties in energy, defense, and infrastructure consolidated this partnership between Russia and Venezuela.
As a result of high-level Russian-Venezuelan negotiations, the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, and the President of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro Moros, signed the agreement between the Russian Federation and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela on cooperation and strategic partnership.
The recent meeting between Putin and Trump raised suspicions that the fate of Venezuela and Ukraine was discussed. Many believe Moscow has signaled it won't confront the United States in Latin America. Analysts point out that Russian support for Maduro is just a way to ensure oil supply in exchange for Venezuelan oil. Moscow sends old and obsolete weapons without any technological updates and keeps Russia as an escape route. If Maduro decides to flee, few believe that Russia would intervene militarily against the United States in Venezuela. The war in Ukraine has already worn Moscow down for years, and Venezuela's geographic distance makes any Russian operation in the region risky and complex. The Federal Security Service, Russia's intelligence agency that replaced the KGB, is central to Russian security. Focused on counterterrorism, counterespionage, and border protection, it operates under the direct control of Vladimir Putin and ensures that strategic decisions are made based on accurate information. It is believed that Russian intelligence has identified precise movements of American forces in the region, indicating that a Southern Command operation on Venezuelan territory is very close to happening. The Spectro is on the move. Son of a bitch. The Russian military arsenal supplied to Venezuela consists of Sukhoi fighter jets, S-300 air defense systems, Mi-17 helicopters, and Soviet armored vehicles. All of them are considered old and lack modernization, which limits their ability to respond against the modern forces of the United States. The lack of maintenance and spare parts further compromises the efficiency of this equipment, putting Venezuela at a technological and operational disadvantage. Even so, Moscow remains one of Maduro's few allies. In return, it receives Venezuelan oil at reduced prices, which is a vital resource in the face of sanctions imposed by the war in Ukraine. With NATO prepared to respond to any Russian attack against its members, Putin is focusing his efforts on defending his own territory, making Venezuela just a secondary piece on the geopolitical chessboard. Russia pulling its diplomats from Venezuela shows Moscow won't risk military support for Maduro. The Kremlin wants to protect its image and avoid losses in a conflict lacking clear strategic benefits. Maduro grows more isolated as allies pull away. Russia, once a key supporter, is now making it clear it won't back him in a war. The question that remains is whether Putin would be able to send troops and modern weaponry to support Maduro, given that Russia is surrounded by NATO members who are getting stronger and stronger. The scenario suggests an uncertain future, with Maduro possibly resisting at all costs. But fleeing to another country is becoming more and more likely. The world is watching, and Russia has already decided its citizens will not remain on Venezuelan territory. Here on Life in the Barracks, you stay up to date with everything happening in the military world. Leave your like, subscribe, and watch one of the videos that's appearing on your screen. Forward, soldiers, until next time.